subscribe my channel. Info Basic. Islam is the second largest religion in the world, and most of you must have heard that Islam is also the fastest growing religion. Yes, this is not just a fact, but a reality. Because the recently released data has shocked everyone by presenting the increasing number of Muslims is increasing at the speed of a bullet. Welcome again to the new video of Info. Number 10. United States of America. America is the largest Christian country in the world, but now this ratio is changing because it is not the first or second, but the third largest religion in the world. Until the beginning of the 16th century, there was no sign of any Muslim in the U.S. But between 1878 and 1924, Muslim population here began to increase quite rapidly, and by 1950, it was 4,48,741 in the U.S. That is, the population here was 0.13%. After that, by 2007, the population of Muslims in the United States has increased by 5 million. This means that Islam is a religion that is spreading rapidly in America. 9. The number of Muslims in the United States has increased by 1.3 million. This means that the number of Muslims in the United States has increased by 1.3 million. 9. Canada, also known as Mini Punjab. I don't know about Mini Punjab, but it is going to be a mini Islamic country because the Christian religion has decreased in Canada while Muslims are increasing quite rapidly. In 2011, there were 10,53,945 Muslims in Canada, but this population was 68.5%. Today, the total population of Canada has exceeded 4.9%. Only 10% of the population of Canada is Muslim, which was 7.7% in 2011. Since 1991, the Muslim population has increased by 100%. Canada is a Christian country, but the growth of Muslims will soon make it an Islamic country. 8. France is a Christian country where more than 50% of the total population of France. In France, we see a lot of anti-Islamic incidents and riots every day. But despite this, if we look at the data, there were 4.5 million Muslims here in 2009, which in 2019 became 8.4 million, which has doubled in just 10 years. The 53% of Christians are in a big Christian country, while more than 40% of the population here do not believe in any religion. Islam is the second biggest religion after Christianity. Until 2000, there was no sign of Islam in Spain. But in 2003, after people from abroad, the number of Muslims here exceeded 5,53,000, million people. And in the next year, that is, in 2004, with a growth of 52.6%, this population had reached 8,001,284 people. After that, in just 18 years, Muslims in Spain had crossed the astonishing number of 22,50,486. According to reports, if this continues, the Muslim population in Spain by 2050. 6. United Kingdom today, more than 47% of the population in the UK are Christians, while Islam is the second largest religion in the UK with 7%. In 1961, there were only about 50,000 Muslims in the UK, but in 10 years, with a growth of 352%, in 1971, this number crossed 2,26,000. After that, this process continued, and by 2021, this population increased to 3,868,133. That is, in just 60 years, this population has crossed 40 lakhs from 50,000 Muslims. Not only this, but according to recent estimates, according to statistics, by 2050, 13 million Muslims will be in the UK, meaning that 25% of the UK population will soon be Muslims. 5. Germany is also seeing a sharp increase in Islam. Germany's total population is more than 8.25 million, with 52.7% Christians, while the majority of Muslims in Germany do not believe in any religion. But after Christianity, Islam is the second largest religion in Germany, where more than 5.6 million population increased by 15 million in just 5 years. These numbers of Muslim growth in Germany, meaning that more than 25% of Germany's population will soon become Muslim. 4. Italy. Islam is also growing rapidly in Italy because until 1999 there were only 520,000 Muslims, but with a sudden increase of 131%, it reached 12 lakh in 2009. Then, after 6 years, that is by 2016, this number became 14 lakh, and by 2022, the number of Muslims in Italy had exceeded 15 lakh. According to which, if this increase continues, by 2050, Islam will cross the large population of 40 to 50 lakh in Italy. Australia is a world of its own and a beautiful country where 44% of the population is Christian and the second largest population is of Muslims. Australia's birth rate and population growth rate is quite low, but on the other hand, the birth rate and population growth rate of Muslims in Australia is increasing at a fast pace. In 1981, there were only 76,752 Muslims in Australia, but in 10 years, that is after the growth of 92.1%, by 1991, the number of Muslims had reached 147,792. In 2011, this population was 8,13,392 Muslims. This means that in every 10 years, the number of Muslims in Australia is doubling, and by 2050, this number will cross 60 lakhs. Number 2. India. Pakistan and Indonesia are the only countries where Muslims live in India, because the population of Muslims in India has crossed 200 million. If we look at the Muslim growth rate in India, in 1901, there were 2.99 crore Muslims here, and by 1941, this population had crossed 4 crore. But then, by 1991, these numbers decreased to 3 crore. However, later with every passing decade, we have seen Muslim growth in India, and by 2022, these numbers have broken all records. This is why, according to reports, by 2050, the Muslim population in India will be 315 million, which will be the largest Muslim population in the world. 1. Nepal, India is considered a pure Hindu country in the world, but the data is showing something else. I was also surprised to know about Nepal for the first time, and now it's your turn. In 1950, there were 2,09,718 Muslims in Nepal, but with a growth of 33% in just 10 years, this number has reached 2,80,507. This same situation in 2011 increased to 11,62,370 Muslims, which was 4.49% of the total population of Nepal. Recently, this population has exceeded 13,12,370. That is, between 2011 and 2021, the Muslim population in Nepal has increased by 15%, and by 2050, Nepal will also be known as a big Muslim country. By 2050, Nepal will also be known as a big